There's the mouse button at the bottom of the touchpad. So click. Oh, no, she's like. Oh, it's wrong. It's
wrong. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final presidential debate of the 2012 election year, brought to you by Jiva Comedy Improv and the Henry Day O'Connor Day School. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to tonight's moderator, Mr. Danny Kincaid.
So, funny story, everyone in Jiva Comedy Improv is either illiterate or a convicted felon. Most of us both. So none of us could vote a few weeks ago in the presidential election, and we felt pretty down about that. So we're going to do something that we've never done before here tonight. We're going to circumvent American democracy, just totally fuck the system. And tonight, Jiva Comedy Improv will elect their own candidate to become the new president of the United States. We want you to be a part of it. In order to have a proper presidential election, we must have a proper debate. And you're going to be a part of that too, as this is an improvisational comedy show. The candidates tonight don't know any of the questions that will be asked of them. We don't know any of the answers that they're going to give, competent or otherwise. And at the end of the debate, you out in the audience will help us elect the new president. We're going to do a popular vote by round of applause, and you're going to vote which candidate you think will best lead our country right up to December the 21st when the world ends. So what we're going to do real quick, two candidates tonight, two parties, simple enough. We're going to split the crowd right down the middle. At the end of the round, you can vote for whichever candidate you want. This will just be a formality. We need to decide what political parties these folks are going to represent. Now, we don't do Democrat or Republican, Green Party, Libertarian, none of that. What's a silly, preposterous name for a political party? The what? The Christmatarians. The Christmatarians, I like that. And over you, on your side, what's your silly, daffy political party name going to be? The Donner Party. I think so. We got the Christmatarians and we got the Donner Party. Let's bring our two candidates out to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce representing the Christmatarian Party, all the way from Pierre, South Dakota, Congressman Thaddeus...
Oh, Tad Witherspoon.
Tad Witherspoon.
I hate to correct you, I'm actually the congressman from Delaware. I believe it's my opponent. I like that.
I did improv. I'm just learning all this now. Representing the Donner Party, Mr. Senator Frank Booth. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your participation in the debate tonight. Best of luck to you. The format will go as such. We will take a few prepared questions. We will take some questions from people in the audience. We will take some questions from people in the audience. And any other wild card questions I may throw your way. I also have some questions submitted by the audience before the show. Many dumb and written illegibly, but we'll jump off that bridge when we get there. You will have 1 minute to make opening statements and 1 minute for each question reply. 30 seconds for rebuttal. A counter rebuttal to your opponent may be granted if I deem it appropriate. So, Congressman Witherspoon, we'll start with you. Your opening remarks for this evening. You have 1 minute, sir, whenever you are ready.
Hello, America. Tad Witherspoon here. Now, you may remember me from my campaign down in Delaware and my terms down in Delaware, where I think we got a lot of things done. We used to have a barnacle issue on some of the yachts down at the wharf. That has been mostly taken care of. You're welcome. Also, had things with shiftless teenagers hanging out by all of the Talbots and the Mercedes dealerships. They have all been detained with no hope for parole. You are welcome. I believe America is a place of freedom. A freedom for everyone, but for some more than others.
Time! Thank you very much, Congressman. Mr. Booth, your opening statement. You have 1 minute, sir.
First, I'd like to thank our gracious host, Jiva Theater, and I'd like to thank you, Danny, for for moderating this evening, and I'd like to thank my opponent for joining us tonight, and I'd like to thank my wife, Barb Booth. Her support has really done wonders for us throughout this campaign. Quite frankly, America, I'm a worrier, and I worry about if I'm going to make the bus, or if I miss the bus, then how am I going to get to the office? I worry about how our country is going in the wrong direction, and I'm not a lot of substance, but I am a lot of substance, not a lot of style. Not a lot of style. Like my opponent, I do have facts.
Time!
Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for those opening Congressman Witherspoon, the first question will be fielded to you, and we'll get right to the elephant in the room right away. Congressman, on your most recent campaign stop, you were quoted as saying, "If playing strip twister is wrong, I don't want to be right." Can you further elaborate on that position and possibly discuss what role strip twister may play in the socio-political economic thread of where our country is now and where our country may be going? You have 1 minute, Congressman.
I'm glad you asked that question, Danny. See, my words were a little bit twisted there. When I actually said if strip twister is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Meaning right hand. I have a bit of a gimpy right hand from an old golf injury, meaning right hand. I didn't want to be putting that down on the red dot. It was a hard position, which one often finds oneself in strip twister. In Tad Witherspoon's America, strip twister is going to be a tool we use so that our people aren't afraid of their own bodies, so that we have a more flexible America. Don't you want to be a more flexible America? I say it's our God-given right to play strip twister, and that we should be allowed to, and I'm glad to live in a country that gives us all of these strip twister liberties. I yield the rest of my time.
Yield the rest of your time? Senator Booth, you have 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Well, as far as my opponent being a proponent of strip twister, I don't have a particular comment on that. To each their own, I suppose. What I do have a particular comment on is, we both, while coming from separate backgrounds, are having some disadvantages in our own right. Well, the congressman may have a golf injury for his hand. I was born with a slight discrepancy in my shoe apparel. You see, I wear a men's 11 on the left and a child's 9 on the right. So I think what I'm trying to say is that in America, we all come from different places, and South Dakota, it's getting back on the map. That's my time.
Thank you, Senator. We'll pass the ball to you, an excellent segue for a question submitted by an audience member. Your thoughts on the recent San Franciscan ban on public nudity. Senator Booth, your thoughts on that? 1 minute.
Well, the ban on nudity is one that, well, I personally would be all right with because I'm very modest. I actually, I only take my clothes off for the necessities such as bathing and shaving. However, that being said, I think it's important that we focus on individual civil liberties, and if someone wants to parade around in their birthday suit, who am I to stop them? And in America, we should be free to do as such, as long as we are not impaired by substance abuse. I yield my time.
You have 1 minute 20, Congressman Witherspoon.
Thank you. I'm glad you asked that question, Danny. When this public nudity issue comes up, it reminds me of a man I met campaigning named Ted Stevens. Ted Stevens was telling me about some of the issues with public nudity and how you have to be subject. Everybody likes it in theory that you can parade around naked, but there's an issue. There need to be constraints. People who parade around publicly nude need to be required to attend the gym on a regular basis. I think there needs to be a fitness standard for our public nudity. Otherwise, have you seen some of these people out here? My God, it's like giant gobs of cottage cheese are just walking around in the streets. And not in Ted's America, my friend. People need to attend the gym. I commend you on your shaving habits, by the way. Taking your clothes off to shave. That is showing the gumption we need in Tad Witherspoon's America.
Danny, are we allowed rebuttals?
Yes, I will grant you a 30-second rebuttal, sir, on the grounds that you have a well-known aversion to public gymnasiums.
Yeah, that is correct. That's actually what I wanted to touch on, Danny. Is that, you know, I'm not, as you may be surprised to find out, I'm not a workout fiend. I don't fancy myself at the gym more than once or twice a month. And ultimately, I think that it's not incumbent upon someone to keep themselves in any shape other than the shape that they desire and so see fit. If you're happy with your shape or your figure, then I think you should embrace that. And if it means parading around and getting your jollies off, I'm okay with it.
Apparently the shape you desire is round.
Time!
I don't know how to respond.
You don't have to, we'll move on. Our next question will come from an audience member. It is for you, Congressman Stevens, and it will be asked by Ms. Violet Weatherby of Chemung County. Ms. Weatherby, your question for Congressman Stevens.
It's more of an affair matter. You see, when I'm at home and on weeknights, I prefer to watch the BBC. My husband, however, loves watching baseball. How am I supposed to handle that? Thank you.
1 minute, Senator, BBC or baseball?
Well, I think I have one way to answer that. And it's 3 letters that should spell it all out for you. U-S-A. U-S-A. USA! 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 Come on! I'm sorry, miss, if you hate America, but we have a pastime in this country, and it's as American as apple pie. And if you want to watch something about a British farmer, well, I'm sorry, maybe you should try contributing to our American economy instead. That is all.
15 seconds, Congressman.
Yield my time.
Mr. Woof.
Thank you, Danny. And, Miss, for the record, I think that's a fair question. And, you know, my opponent has his own 3 letters that would solve this problem. I have 3 letters that I think would solve this problem. It's not USA, as much as I'm a proponent and a fan of that. I think the 3 letters that come to mind for me in this situation would be PIP, which stands for picture-in-picture. It's a fascinating technology, and it's something that I think you could get the score in the bottom right corner, and in the enlargement of the screen, you'd be able to catch your BBC programming. You see, from where I'm from in South Dakota, we manage to help everyone get along, and we come together to solve problems, and we don't create more distractions. So I think that the best solution in this instance would be that little PIP button on your remote if you have an HD television set.
PIP, Congressman, counter rebuttal. We will grant you 30 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you. Picture-in-picture is nice in theory. And my communist friend here would love to tell you about how everyone can get along with it. But what happens is, it leads to conflict as to which is the big picture, which is the little picture. Because I'll tell you, have you ever tried reading the score on that little picture? I have 9 TVs in each of my 7 houses, and frankly, it's impossible. So you need baseball to be big, but then you can't tell what your British farmers are doing, and it just leads to more conflict. I say, watch 2 separate TVs. That is it. That is your answer.
Very good, Congressman. Thank you. We will move along. Senator Booth, a question for you submitted by an audience member.
Yeah, Booth.
Booth.
Booth. Like woof, but with a B and more of an oof than an oof. That's how I remember.
A personnel question for Senator Booth, submitted by the audience. Senator, who will you nominate for the Supreme Court and why? 1 minute, sir.
I think that's a fair question. And I think that our audience here deserves to know an honest answer to that question. And quite frankly, I don't have an answer for that question. And the main reason that I don't have an answer is because in the course of the next 4 years over this term, there will actually be no need, barring any unforeseen illness or injury or untimely accident or death, and I could go on, there will be no need to appoint any justices, so it's not something I've given a lot of thought to. If I had to shoot from the hip, I'd say Eli Manning.
30 seconds, sir.
No, that's fine. Eli Manning. I'm okay with that. Oh, you know what? No, actually, you know what? I do have a little more. I'm going to take some of the rest of my time to just call out something that I read in the Indianapolis Star. Time! Okay.
Minute rebuttal for you, sir. You may rebut the senator's choice of Eli Manning, give that a critique, or whom you would choose to represent the nation.
I'll do both.
Okay. And
Eli Manning is busy.
There's an off
He's already having a middling season on the Giants, and frankly, he's up to things. Also, Supreme Court senators, if you've seen them, they're old, which is why I recommend my frat buddy Scooter. Scooter's always pretty smart. He could throw a hell of a party. And also, he was very judicious in his application of beer bongs and keg stands. And so, America, could you bring it in tight? Yes. Let me look. Times are tough. And we need a man who's going to make the right decisions. A man without a dog in some of these legal battles that are going on. And in fact, with no legal expertise at all. For that role, I recommend Skeeter. His last name I can't remember. Thank you.
Time!
nicely done. Another question from the audience. This one will be for you, Congressman, and it will be fielded by Mr. Ned Niedermeyer of Amherst, New York. Mr. Niedermeyer, your question for Congressman Witherspoon.
Thank you very much. Congressman, my question is about immigration. I come from Hemlock Falls, which of course shares a border with the nearby Greenville. Recently, we've had a problem where the Girl Scouts from Greenville have been coming into Hemlock Falls to sell their Girl Scout cookies, thereby, making it so that the Girl Scouts in Hemlock Falls cannot actually sell their Girl Scout cookies inside Hemlock Falls. What are you going to do to stop this unfair practice? What controls are you put in place? How do you prevent these girls from crossing the border into our town? I want some answers and I want them now!
Sales of Girl Scout cookies infringing on one's turf.
Okay.
The question is for you. 1 minute, Congressman.
This is a sticky issue. It's one that we've dealt with for years. I'm glad you asked that, Ned. Well, I personally apply to a self-deportation method. By this I mean, when Girl Scouts come into your town, we need to make their lives so miserable, harassment by the cops, swearing in their general direction, keep a couple rotten eggs around. A couple things just to get you started. To make their lives miserable enough, don't offer them health care, by the way. Bad idea. Make their lives so miserable that they self-deport back into their other podunk town that nobody cares about. By doing this, you will free your own town for your own Girl Scouts. And that way, they can jack up the prices of their cookies and no competitive advantage can come in. And they won't be stealing your Girl Scout cookie selling jobs.
Time! Senator Booth, your rebuttal, keeping in mind, Senator, that you have 2 daughters and a son involved in Girl Scouts. 1 minute rebuttal for you.
Thank you for pointing that out, Danny. And I'd like to go on the record and saying I am extremely proud of Kevin. Okay? He is the first South Dakotan Girl Scout. All right? And we should all just let that simmer. All right? Now, Ned, I do have a question for you. Are you the same Niedermeyer family who has that delicious sweet treat bakery shop up there?
Yes, we do, Senator.
Okay, that's what I thought. And you see, my wife and I have actually been purchasing Niedermeyer's old-fashioned oatmeal cookies for about 15 years now. So I can tell you that not only do I support my kinship my son and daughter's in the Girl Scouts, but I support the Niedermeyers and their ability to sell cookies as well. What I think this comes down to is a matter of business ethics. I've recently read a document in which a company's admonished its employees for really making unethical business decisions, and some of the things that you'll actually hear in these offices are, no one will notice. I never get my job done if I followed all the policies and procedures. Okay, here's another one for you. We've always done it that way, so it must be okay. Okay, just because something has always been done, and just because there's always been bullies, doesn't mean that there always needs to be a bully. And I'm the guy who's not afraid to stand up to that bully.
Time! Counter rebuttal for you, so yes, 30 seconds.
My opponent, in his speech, didn't mention anything about the immigration issue that was brought up. If you'll pay attention, he shifted the issue. And that's what he does. Every issue. That, the pond that got filled in down in Great Barrier Lake, shifted the issue. Didn't talk about it. Shifts. He shifts it. He shifts it around on you.
Check the transcripts, Danny. Check the transcripts.
I don't
okay?
remember anything
clear
about immigration being brought up in his speech. Do you people remember anything about immigration?
Time. Okay, apparently we have struck a nerve, so here's what we'll do. I will grant you, Mr. Booth, a 30-second rebuttal. Mr. Witherspoon, I will allow you to rebut your own rebuttal. And this will all go down simultaneously. 30 seconds, gentlemen. Go ahead.
Well, quite frankly, I think my record shows that I was very clear on the Lake Project. First of all, you made good fiscal responsible decision sets.
I
When I say dollars and cents, I'm talking about income and the revenue gain from fishing that
You know my name is
When
Ted.
we supply enough fish,
If I'm going to make it tough on girls out there, give them a hard time, maybe throw a couple in jail, I'll tell you right to your face that I'm going to illegally arrest underage girls. He won't tell you that. He's going to go on and on
There's actually 2 locations.
emails that he saw.
Nicely done, gentlemen. We will take a quick 3-minute commercial break, and we will let the candidates check in with their campaigns and also a network analysis report.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Did any of you bring your campaign strategists?
I believe I have some in the crowd. I need this. I need this.
Okay, you're doing great, sir. You're doing great. Okay.
All right.
Listen, Senator Stern should lose the time, okay? It's more relatable to people, okay? We've done a lot of polling out there. It seems like they can't relate to you. A lot of people don't wear ties anymore, okay? So lose the time, okay?
Top button. What do they think about top buttons?
I don't have any data on that. Do we have any data on top button or not?
No, I should go second button just to be safe.
You lost.
No, do the top button and the second button.
It's fine.
Do it a little truck eye.
You know what? You've lost the Girl Scout demographic, but you've gained the truckers. It's fine. You've gained the truckers. It's good.
Girl Scouts can't vote, right?
True. But they will eventually. But that's no matter.
Someday. Okay, listen, we're finding out there's a hot button issue out there. We're pretty sure the senator is involved in some kind of a scandal. What is that scandal? I'm asking in polling right now.
Monkey sex.
I'm sorry?
Monkey sex.
Monkey sex. Right, so Senator, right. We have reason to believe that Senator Booth is involved in some kind of monkey sex.
See, yes.
Yeah, so anything you can do to just try to give a
steer
rise
towards monkey sex.
Steer towards monkey sex.
Yeah.
And there's that one thing that we haven't really let out of the bag yet, that one great thing that you've done to win over the American public. What's the one thing that he's done that's really going to win over the American public?
Brought back the Twinkies.
You brought back the Twinkies, sir, and you know what? That's really good.
I didn't want to toot my own horn. I didn't want to lead off
You
with
better
that.
save that for the end. That's what the American people are going to remember, Twinkies, okay? You're doing great.
Let's go here.
Sweat a little bit more.
Revelations from the Witherspoon camp. Let's check on the campaign trail of one Frank Booth.
I don't know how it's going out there. You know, I'm not comfortable. It's hot. The lights are
You're doing so well, baby. It's so good.
I know. Where's
And you know what?
my chief of staff?
Then I don't look
Thanks,
at
baby.
you when you mentioned Kevin, okay?
Yeah.
You have it. You have America's vote because they love the gays. And
Wait, Kevin's gay? That's fine. That's fine. I can work with that. I can work with that.
I don't know. I thought it just seemed appropriate that we just laid it all out on the table. Okay, we did some slight polling.
Okay.
If you could blink a little less,
Okay.
make people feel a lot more comfortable.
Sure.
He has dry eyes, Penny. I understand that, but America doesn't. Okay. Also, we've heard about.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Listen, that was really cool when you mentioned me on the speech.
I know.
I was like,
Because I love you, pal.
oh, that was
Your
so
father and
awesome.
I are so proud of you, sweetie. And it's time. It's time to break out the news about the opponents, okay?
Oh.
Because what he did was wrong.
It was
And the
wrong,
American
but I
people
don't...
need to know that.
It's
What
horrible.
did he do that's so terrible?
Medicare fraud.
Medicare fraud?
That's what he said.
All right, Medicare fraud. Medicare fraud.
I'm worried, Penny, that it's complicated and that people aren't going to understand the nuts and bolts of what he did wrong. If we could drill down to the actual transgression, I think that would probably really
What was he fronting? Medicaid. Anyone? Thank you. He stole drugs from old people.
I
Okay?
know. I just feel like that's a low blow. I don't want to get into dirty politics as usual.
You know what? He's gonna hit you hard. He's gonna hit you low, and you're gonna feel it. And if you don't hit back, I'm sorry, sir, but your chances are slim.
Wait a minute, I thought there was no hitting allowed in these
He's
states.
right.
How do we negotiate?
He's not gonna physically hit you, honey.
Oh, all right.
He's gonna mentally hit you.
He is
with your-
big and strong.
With his mental
You
fist.
should tell everyone that I also do gymnastics too. I think that'll help you. That'll help you.
I think that might come up at some point.
You know what, sir? Audiences love singing, okay? That Barack Obama guy, okay? He sang a little bit.
Okay.
People loved it.
You want me to do like a little ditty or?
You want me to
Yeah.
I can do it? I can do a duet with you. You want me to do a duet?
We do have a lovely shower. What song would the American people like to hear?
Froggy Man Court.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither. That's my favorite song though.
Okay, Froggy Man and Gordon. Sounds wonderful. Great, thank you.
Now, Fats Waller, come on. And we're back! Let's bring the candidates back onto the stage. Senator Booth, Congressman Witherspoon.
How do you do?
Well, hello, Tom Jones. We'll begin the second half, gentlemen, with another audience-submitted question. Senator Booth, this one will be fielded your way. Senator, what is your plan for the intergalactic disco that is scheduled to take place in May of 2014?
That's an excellent question, Danny. And I think what's prudent to bring up at this juncture would be the fiscal responsibility that America has in this intergalactic disco project. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with us getting our heaven and a hopping on, but I think when there's some sort of malfeasance when it comes down to us footing the bill. Okay, this is just like my opponent's plan to increase military spending. Okay, we don't need another embassy that's bigger than the Taj Mahal. Okay, what we need is to bring our troops home and not send more troops out into intergalactic inner space to create space stations merely for discotheque purposes.
20 seconds, sir.
Also, I'm a huge proponent of cutting back on my opponent's proposed budget plan, which he calls for no taxes on the rich and 25% tax on the middle class.
Little left field there. Mr. Witherspoon, your rebuttal on any of that. 1 minute, sir.
Okay, well, first, space disco. I believe the space disco needs to be state of the art. We don't want to have a second-hand space disco with the cruddy lights and everything's done and you can't get liquor at the bar. Who wants that? Nobody. So, when we build our space disco, it's going to be top of the line. You can goddamn guarantee it. Also, when you have such a nice space disco, you're going to need to guard it from intergalactic raiders. Everybody knows they love a disco. It's a valuable resource. We need to have an embassy. As far as the tax increases, what can I say? I'm rich and I don't want to pay any taxes. I think rich America will agree with me that we don't want to pay taxes, and we think all of these people who are doing all the work, hey, what the heck, they're already paying some taxes, let's just up that by, you know, a little bit of a percentage. I think that's fair. If anybody out there rich, I think would agree with me. Right? More yachts? More yachts? Yacht makers too.
Time! Thank you. We will turn again to the audience. A question submitted by Miss Phyllis Deargard of Saugerties, New York. That question will be for Senator Booth. Ms. Deargard, at your convenience.
Mr. Booth, I was on one of my daily night walks with my Persian tabby, Franklin Aloysius, last week, when she was viciously attacked by one of our county seagulls. What are you planning on doing, Mr. Booth, with the vicious terrorist acts upon our seagulls across the county as well as the entire nation?
Good luck with that one.
Seagull attacks in Saugerties, New York. 1 minute, Senator.
That is an excellent question, Madam Deargard. I appreciate you asking it, and I applaud you for your courage in walking your cat. I would like to just make it clear that the seagull problem is obviously an issue. I understand that. I get the scope of it. It's something that we're going to have to commit time and, quite frankly, resources and attention to. Now, there's always the Alka-Seltzer method, which would be more the plan of my opponent. I think that there is a space for all creatures on this planet, and quite frankly, I think that there's a way that we can find a way to live in harmony. Maybe big nets. I'm just spitballing, but big nets seem like a plausible place to start, and financially it's not overly expensive. So, big nets, that's what I have right now.
15 seconds, sir.
Also, I think this is probably a good moment in time to bring up the fact that my opponent has not been totally forthright with the American people about his dealings and some of his responsibilities of office. So maybe he'd like to touch on that, since he doesn't want to talk about walking the cat.
Time! What a segue. 1 minute for rebuttal.
I do want to talk about walking cats. Yes, that's right. I am a candidate who is a proponent of exploding seagulls. That's how I roll. My opponent, on the other hand, loves animals. And when I say he loves animals, I mean he loves animals. He married a nice lady.
Yep.
And, boy, that nice lady sure would be shocked to know about his weekly sojourns to the zoo.
Okay.
Yes, yes, like these pictures that I have here. Yeah, he was right. That's not just a hairy guy. No. So, there's that. And as far as any wheelings and or dealings that I did, almost all of them were completely legal. The ones that weren't legal, on the other hand. Anyway, I digress.
Time! I will grant you 30 seconds to rebut the photo of you and the half-hairy guy.
And first, in order to rebut the photo, can I at least see it first? This is the first I've seen of this. Okay, Danny, I'd like to call your attention at the bottom of the photo here where it says, limited trial Adobe Photoshop CS6. So it seems to me that there's possibility that this has been tampered. That's all I'm going to say. And for the record, if you want to know why I was at the zoo on a weekly basis, it's because I volunteer for an outreach organization, and we discussed the John Scopes monkey trial, which is about evolution and teaching in a classroom setting. So that is why I frequent the zoo, aside from the fact that I like to take pictures of the birds.
Sexual intercourse.
Sorry. Again, we will turn to the audience for a question. Mr. Lenny Thungelbuster of right here in Rochester, the bad part of town, I believe. Mr. Thungelbuster from the bad part of town, your question for Congressman Anderson.
I recently created my own business. It's vegan condoms. What you have to understand, though, is a lot of lobbyists are trying to make contraceptives all free. What can you do to keep my business unaffected from the government?
Yes. Your question for the man dressed up as an Italian gondolier. 1 minute, sir.
This is an issue near and dear to my heart, where commerce meets the bedroom. I believe that Americans have a God-given right to use whatever kind of contraceptive they deem fit. Whether it be vegan condoms, which I did not know.
Made from tofu.
Oh, I didn't know that any animals went into regular condoms, but apparently they do. And apparently, I believe it's a free market issue. Honestly, I believe that there's a niche market for these vegan contraceptives, and that is what will support this business. And that we need to free business by taxing the middle class in order to accomplish this. I yield the rest of my time.
You know, Danny, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that my opponent actually is under the impression that this is an intergalactic space disco because he seems to be wearing his dancing shoes, okay? He doesn't seem to be answering any of the questions here. And quite frankly, I think that that's a very genuine question that should be answered. And I appreciate your discotheque look, by the way, losing the time, going down a few buttons. Very nice, very classy. So to answer your question more succinctly, sir, I think that my opponent was stealing money from elderly people and prescriptions. So I think maybe we should think about that and not the condoms made from tofu.
Counter rebuttal, yes, 30.
Yes. Of course, my monkey-loving friend is going to bring up a slight issue that happened with some medication from elderly people. What he doesn't understand is that was a party, and things were It was a party. And I thought those people...
14,200 people affected. 14,200. I have it right here.
Yeah, I happen to like
14,200 elderly citizens.
And I thought all those people were giving me their Vicodins because, hey, what the heck?
Time! 2 more questions left in this round, and then we will vote. For the first of the final 2, I open up the forum to anyone who would like to ask a question and can also pass the sobriety test. A question for either one of these candidates. You at the top, suspiciously dressed like a cowboy.
Yeah, I got a question for you. My question's about gays. What's your plan for them? That's my question. What's your plan for the gays?
Your plan for the gays is to start with Congressman Witherspoon. 1 minute, sir.
Well, sir, I'm glad you asked about that. I don't know if you've been paying attention to this debate, but we have plans for an intergalactic discotheque. I think that pretty much sums up what my plan for the gays is. Now, I don't know about you people, but when I was saving the Twinkie, we found a way to make things work. With an intergalactic discotheque, everyone will be welcome. That includes gays, that includes straights, that doesn't include monkeys, I'm sorry, but I believe we can make it work. Hopefully that's a satisfactory answer, because I believe gays are doing fine. I believe gay marriage should be legal everywhere. No, mandatory everywhere. Mandatory gay marriage. That's my plan. Either intergalactic disco or you're marrying a gay. That's
Now, Senator Booth, as it's well known that you have a very melodious singing voice and that gays love musicals, Senator, I would like you to vocalize, to sing your rebuttal, if you could. 1 minute.
I think in order to do that, I would need some assistance from Mr. Knucklebum.
Mr. Thunklebaum?
But I would like to say that my opponent's talking out of both sides of his mouth, and it's quite obvious he saved the Twinkie because he's full of cream and sugar, but that's about it.
1 minute, Senator.
My son, my gay son, he's on the run for some fun. He might use those condoms made from tofu. He might use nothing at all. I hope not. But at least he can knock up something, whatever he wants. Because the gays, they don't work that way.
Time! Hey, Lady Funkabuster, the vampire time again, everybody.
And also, I'm proud of my son, Kevin. Love you, buddy.
The final question of the night, gentlemen, and this is for all the cards and anything else you'd like to add, submitted by a member of the audience before the show. Do you have a dirty secret we should know about? Senator Booth, 1 minute. We will start with you.
I do have a dirty secret, and I think it's only fair that I bring it out to you before my opponent tries to twist it and turn it all around. I have a great love in my life. And it's a love of following your dreams and being your own hero. Okay? Now, I don't know how I made it into office, quite frankly. I was never intending to run for any sort of platform, any sort of party. But I have such a strong love for this country, and I have such a passion to do right by it, that sometimes I feel like I'm cheating. I'm cheating you good people by not giving you the kind of leader you deserve. And if you want a dancing monkey, you can have it. But if you want someone who cares about you and what you believe in and your freedoms to do what you want, when you want, and dance in that discotheque, naked as the day is long, let's be frank. Don't be aloof, vote for Booth.
Time! Congressman, again, I will pose the question to you. Any dirty secrets that we should know about?
Yes, I have actually several things I'd like to admit. First, I'd like to admit it to catching my opponent on his doublespeak, because he wants to kill the intergalactic space disco, if everybody recalls. Just saying. And then
Never said that.
there's also that he didn't want the government to spend on it. Got it right here.
Check the
in my
transcripts. Don't
brain
want us
notes.
to split the whole bill.
Senator,
Sorry.
You're fine.
Also, I had 74 schematic affairs. I was, yep. So that's out there. So if anybody says that they slept with me, it's probably true. I don't plan on stopping them. My wife is cool with it. She's a pretty hip lady.
Sounds great.
And that's great. It's really fun. And also, I also admit to loving America. Loving it more than any of the floozies that I pick up in local bars or truck stops and take to maybe a chintzy motel. I love America more than that. Time to make sweet, sweet love to America.
You two have both run very hard, very fervent campaigns. I thank you very much for your efforts these past few months. I thank you very much for your time this evening. Now, folks, democracy in action. We need you for this. Everyone gets a vote. Everyone's got to vote. And because I don't care about your petty hang-ups, I'll even close my eyes while we do this. Make some noise for Dover, Delaware's own Congressman Thaddeus Witherspoon. Make some noise for Pierre, South Dakota's own Senator Franklin Booth. And I'm in bed by 9:30. Congratulations, sir, you're our new president.
Thank you.
President Franklin Booth. How will President Booth fare? We will find out in 15 minutes. Jiva Comedy Improv's Great Big Election Special. We'll be right back. We'll see you in a few. Peace.
Thank you,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second half of Jiva Comedy Improv's Great Big Election Special. Make some noise, if you will, for your new Commander-in-Chief, President Franklin Booth, and the First Family, First Lady Barbara Booth, and son Kevin.
Thank you, America. Thank you so much for your vote. Kevin, why don't you go to your room for a little bit? All right, let's find some toys.
Gonna go for push-up.
Kevin, be in a minute. Now you are quite well. Everyone, let's give another round of applause to Mr. Michael Folk of our company. America, as is customary with me, I'm frank with you. Or my name is. One thing I do need to know is how far along into my presidency are we? Is this at the beginning, or is this maybe a year or so in?
9 days.
9 days into the presidency, naturally. Just get settled in. There's also, as we know, there's plans on the horizon for an intergalactic discotheque, which I have my own aversion to, but we'll probably touch on that. Maybe not. What else is going on? Is there some sort of crisis or meddling, boiling problem within the family? Because there couldn't be a first without a family. So what kind of problem could be arising within the first family?
Twinkie Factory meltdown.
Twinkie Factory meltdown. Don't know how that necessarily applies to the family. Anything else could be going on with my wife or my son Kevin?
He's pregnant.
Kevin is somehow involved with a pregnancy scare. We're going to go with that. I like that. 9 days into office, pregnancy scares, and intergalactic discotheques. Outstanding. So we're going to resume right into President Booth's presidency 9 days in. We're going to see that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Penny.
Yes, sir.
Penny, I know this has been a rough campaign trail, but I would certainly like to thank you. You are just such a wonderful chief of staff. I don't know that I would have been able to do it without you.
Well, thank you, sir. You're a wonderful commander.
That's okay. We all stutter sometimes. It happens.
Yeah, I know.
Just put it right out there.
I'm just so proud to be part of this campaign, and I'm just proud of how far you've made it these past 9 days.
Well, thank you.
The best 9 days this country's ever seen.
I hope so. You know, it's been tough, but the work is just beginning. We owe these people a lot, and the first order of business is really to figure out what we're going to do about this space station. Now, have you brought any of these new cabinet members in?
Yeah, he's coming in right now.
Outstanding.
Hello. Mr. Froth, this is the president. I believe you've seen him on TV.
Mr. Froth. This is one of my new cabinet members, Mr. Froth. What position does he have on the cabinet?
Defense.
Secretary of Defense. Listen, I'm so glad you're here. I know this is kind of a quasi issue. It's a half military issue, half intergalactic issue, but we need to get to the bottom of it.
Well, that's what I'm here about.
All right.
Mr. President, somebody came to me with this proposal. If you look,
Like this invisible paper we've been using today.
yeah, it saves a lot of trees. If we can tie the space disco in to part of the military budget, if we arm it heavily with nuclear missiles, laser guns, and a couple lightsabers, a chainsaw here and there,
Froth,
and also look bitchin'.
Froth, I don't want to get off on the wrong foot, especially since mine are disproportionate to begin with.
No, I hardly noticed.
It's endearing, sir.
Thank you, Penny. But I do think that it's important that we stay true to what we campaigned on, which was to not use excess military funds for the intergalactic space station. And I really don't want to arm it in case there is some sort of extraterrestrial life that may come seeping forward out of the darkness.
Sir, perhaps if we cut funding from something else.
That's a great idea.
Ooh, education! Come on!
I'm gonna have to mull that one over, Froth.
Healthcare?
I'm listening now.
Okay.
Maybe.
How about this? Healthcare. You can cut money by harvesting children for organs, and then there's less money going to education.
Penny, are any of the other cabinet members around? Because I don't know that I'm digging Froth.
So let me get this straight, Froth. You want me to DJ the intergalactic disco and invent a new kind of electronic dance music to brainwash the youth of America into signing up for the armed forces?
That's right! I'm gonna call it Project Dance Wash. I'm not good at coming up with project names.
As a California metrosexual, I have to ask, what's in this plan for me?
All the hair frosting you could ever imagine. I'm talking weekly waxings, collars so big and so lustrous that you could fly just to see.
I'll be bald from the sideburns down. It will be magnificent. Frost, I have to level with you. I don't know what kind of music I'm going to invent. I mean, dubstep hit a whole new low and they ate it up. How can you get more despicable, more devious than dubstep, and the kids will just eat it up and go for it?
Well, here's my thought. Remember swing music when that came back in the 90s? Not a high point either. If you take dubstep and mix it with swing music to some monstrous, abominable hybrid, I think that will just get people mad enough that they'll just sign up for the armed forces because they want to shoot somebody.
They'll be jump, jiving, and wailing all the way to the recruiting center.
Kevin? Kevin. Come here, my love. How are you?
Good, how are you?
You know, Kevin, I can't express in words how I feel about all of this. Your father becoming President of the United States of America, and, well, I must admit, my Scentsy business has really taken off since we've become the first family of America. They all seem to want to buy those crazy flavored scented candles from me now. No, Kevin, but listen, there's something serious I want to talk to you about.
What is it, Mother?
No, I know that we've kind of gone over this before, you know, what could become if we, you know, won. And now that we have, I just really hope that you know that we love you no matter what. And I don't want you to change who you are. You don't need to. It's perfectly acceptable for you to be who you want to be. Whether or not you're the first child or not the first child. Are you understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth, Kevin?
Excuse me, First Lady. I've got something to say. Your son had a baby. I know, I'm as shocked as you are.
Well, how can this be? He's 12 years old.
What's going on here?
Frank, he may be 12, but his penis is quite mature.
Whoa!
Frank, this
Barb,
woman
I
is just
didn't do anything. I don't even know this woman.
Where's security, first of all? And secondly,
Sorry, I was napping.
Come on, Frog, get her out of here.
Ralph, this woman just walked into the
Kevin, tell them.
Mother? Father? I'm afraid it's true. It was at my Girl Scout sleepover last week.
Kevin!
That's right.
Last week.
I'm very good at growing fast.
More than I needed to know, thank you.
But Kevin, how can this be?
Frog, could you see her out, please?
The other girls started to have a pillow fight, and, well, I didn't quite know what to do, so I left.
So,
I
wait.
started opening up doors, and I found a room, and, well, that lady was in the room, so...
Kevin, I have a very important question to ask you right now. When that lady was in the room, she already have a big belly? It's okay, you can tell me, bud. She already have a big belly?
See, I don't remember. I mean, it was so dark in there.
I know, just think about it. Just take a moment, center yourself. Your kimono is very nice. Proud of you.
I love this fabric.
Proud of you. Just think about it.
It might help if I try to reenact it.
Sure, let's see.
Okay, alright. So, the lights need to be a little more dim.
Okay, so dimmer lights.
Dimmer lights. It's hard to see.
Hard to see.
Okay,
Talk us through it, Kevin.
the door. And it said, does anyone know where I can find some creme brulee?
And I was like, yeah!
So, apparently, he went looking for creme brulee and found how to make a baby instead.
The old creme brulee trick. I've seen it 100 times.
I gotta be honest with you, it just seems so out of character for him, you know? He's more into, My Little Pony and, you know, Sally Jesse Raphael, whatever the kids are into nowadays.
Yeah, Sally Jesse's doing big with the kids these days.
Especially in the South Dakotan market.
Well, might I recommend signing him up for the Army? No, fair enough, just thought I'd quote it.
He's a bit, you've met Kevin, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of a passive fist.
Fair enough.
I mean weak fist, that's what I meant. Weak. A little weak. Not that he couldn't.
No, hey, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge, sir.
He's fragile, that's what
Also,
I'm getting at.
let me thank you for, as your Secretary of Defense, you bringing me in on your 12-year-old son's pregnancy issue.
I feel like that can only do good things for this,
But it's for our relationship. No, I appreciate you sharing. So, here's the thing. She got that pregnant in a week.
That was my concern as well. It just didn't seem plausible. She said she's unnaturally good at growing, but if my mustache is any indication, things don't grow that fast.
Well, maybe, if she's that pregnant now, maybe in another week, the baby will be here. And then you can just claim it as your own and the whole thing never happened.
You know what I'd like is if you wouldn't mind doing a little investigation on this.
wanted to be incognito, but this is the only hat I can find.
Okay, I barely recognized you. Look, I feel bad about this. That Kevin guy seems so nice, and I know I do need money for little Kanye, but it just doesn't seem like the right way to get it.
Hey, listen, it's gonna be fine. See, luckily, they don't believe in DNA in South Dakota. So they don't even test it to see if it's actually his. I appreciate this.
I just don't understand why. Why do you want to ruin the first family?
I don't even know myself. It's a compulsion. Well, but it also has to do with the fact that I have a nefarious plan to trick children into signing up for the military, which I can't even believe I'm telling you about right now.
All right, people feel safer around pregos.
That's true. I don't know,
It doesn't hurt at all.
My bad. If that had popped, we'd have a real doozy on our hands. Listen! All we need for you to have that baby. And then claim that it's Kevin's. He's such a nice kid. He'll be a decent dad.
I know.
He's got money.
I just feel bad, okay? Maybe it's the hormones talking, but I'll go along with your plan, because we need the money, but I don't like it one bit.
I got a lot of irons in the fire. I appreciate you doing this.
No problem. Bye.
Mr. President, thank you very much for granting me the appointment today.
You're quite welcome. What was your name again?
DJ Tanner. I will be DJing the big intergalactic disco in May of 2014.
DJ Tanner. And you do house music, right? Like a full house kind of thing?
All sorts of a full spectrum of house music. Yes. Have some new tricks up my sleeve for the engagement.
Okay.
Now, Mr. President, I know you were never keen on the intergalactic disco event from the beginning.
You got it right there, Tanner. That's true.
I need a favor of you, sir.
Okay.
You have a piece of real estate in Broken Fork, South Dakota. 16 acres of farmland. Now, we want an open-air venue for this techno festival, sir. Little law enforcement around as possible, if you get my drift. If you can grant us your estate to use for the festival, we'll donate $6 million in proceeds to the Pierre, South Dakota Zoo. And you were at the zoo daily for quite a long stretch of your life.
You are, you're pulling on my heartstrings there, Tanner. Not gonna lie. Tell you what I'm gonna do for you. Because I think it's important to think things through. I'm not gonna promise that I'm gonna do that. What I am gonna promise is that I'm gonna sleep on it. How's that sound?
Deal.
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Penny, sure.
There's a media person here to see you.
Oh, well, you could show them in. DJ was just about to.
Okay. That's
We're trying to lease that technology.
The president is seeing you, gentlemen.
Dean Strickland, Holiday Post. How do you do, sir?
Right move.
I'm Mississippi.
I couldn't understand.
It's a pleasure to be here, sir. We are so thrilled to be here in this old office.
Yes. Well, what can I do for you, gentlemen? I'm not sure. I'm only a few days in. I'm a little rusty on how things work exactly. Is there a reason you came to see me, or?
How do you respond to rumors that your son has sired a child at a record-setting pace?
Maybe you should say no comments, sir.
That's a great idea, Penny. No comments, sir.
What a scoop! All right.
We'll see you later.
Yep.
That is some crack journalism there, Penny. They could beat the pants off any of the writers at the South Dakota Post.
I know that, I don't normally get involved in your personal affairs, but, well, the media seems to think that your son fathered a child at a remarkable pace, and while that's scientifically amazing,
Right.
for your image in the first family's image, this is terrible.
You think so?
Yes. I mean, look at Thomas Jefferson. He had a baby by somebody, and nobody remembers him.
Penny, I'll be honest with you, that probably makes plenty of sense. Didn't really think of it that way. So, How do we handle it?
Well, how have you handled things with your son?
Well, I told him that I'm proud of him, you know.
And how have you handled things with the female in question?
Just kind of took her word for it. Made sense at the time.
Sir,
Should I be doing more? Is that what
you're very trusting? And
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's endearing to the public. That's just plain stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so, just gonna spitball here. How about we use the nets that we were gonna use for the seagulls?
For...
Not quite sure.
Okay. This is a good start. It's a good start. I like that you're thinking. But maybe, you know, we think along the lines of how can we deal with these human people in a proactive manner.
I really feel like I was onto something with the nets.
Oh my God. It's my son. And it's not his child. It can't be. Oh, I remember reading once in Good Homes and Gardens magazine about accidents with a coat hanger. I don't know, but it's tricky, but I think I can manage it. Now. Hello! Hi!
Hi, Mrs. Booth.
It's me, Barb! You can call me Barb! Just call me Barb.
Hello, Barb. Okay, I'm gonna get right to the point here, okay? I know that this is very inconvenient for you and your family and
Oh!
me and
No!
little baby Kevin.
Inconvenience? No, not at all. Not even one bit.
Well, baby Kevin and I would be happy to get out of your lives forever.
Your
We
name
just
is the
need-
baby Kevin, just like my son's name's Kevin.
He's the father.
Look, these aromatic scentsy candles aren't doing anything for my nerves right now.
Mrs. Booth, we'll get out of your lives. We just need living expenses. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, I'm saying I will leave right now if you give me millions of dollars.
You're trying to blackmail me and my family?
I just want what's best for little Kevin and for your family.
Listen here, you
Why are you
pussy.
shooting at me with a coat hanger, ma'am?
I don't... What are you talking about? No coat hanger here.
It must be my stupid pregnant eyes.
You're right. I have a coat hanger. I was planning on somehow trying to maliciously, but not violently at all, kill your unborn fetus baby.
Okay, hey, sweetheart. I see you were hanging up the laundry again. Hello, daughter-in-law.
Hello, Mr. President.
Well, we do appreciate you visiting. This is a time I'd like just a few minutes alone with the missus, if you don't mind.
Just think about my offer, okay?
I'll think about your offer.
I'll leave through the door.
That makes sense.
I'll think about your offer in hell.
Hey,
Okay, hanger woman.
Barbie.
Sorry, Frank. I'm sorry. I haven't been myself lately. I think I really even just thought of killing that poor pregnant lady's baby with a coat hanger. And that's not the appropriate thing to do. That's not what we South-Dakotans do, Frank.
By and large, it is not.
But can we let her blackmail us?
Barbie, I gotta be honest with you. I've been doing some think tank sessions with Penny and the rest of the cabinet, and they think maybe we should, I don't know how to say this, we should be questioning the validity of these accusations. I know it's horrible to think anyone would do something as preposterous as lie about a pregnancy with our gay son, our obviously gay son.
Frank, now that I'm actually thinking about it logically, that actually makes a lot more sense.
Apparently it takes 9 months for a baby to arrive, not 9 days of a presidency.
That does make sense. I can carry Kevin for 10.
Mr. President,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for seeing me. I guess you went ahead and got some DNA testing done and
Sure
found
did.
out about that
Yeah.
that baby.
Wild situation there, huh?
Yeah.
You know what's even more wild?
wild?
You know what's even more wild? I don't want to know who the real father is. Didn't look. Did not look.
I happen to know who it is in my file right here.
You think that's something I would want to know, or something that can just be water under the bridge.
Depends. Do you harbor a grudge against Tad Witherspoon? I should have that name quicker on my tongue, I suppose.
Tad, huh?
He was one of his,
One of his 74.
Yep.
Or maybe she makes it around 75.
So, no, that's all done. We don't need to ask any questions about who was really behind any kind of blackmail venture. Is right?
You know, if I learned something about being president, it's that you shouldn't just blindly do what other people tell you to do. You shouldn't blindly trust everything everyone says. But in this case, it sounds like you're right, so let's just stick with that.
Well, and then I also hear you have a fundraising opportunity with a rave on your property.
Yeah, this is one that, I'll be frank.
You're always frank.
I know, you got it. Listen, this one I'm having a little bit of trouble with. They're talking about donating funds to the zoo, which obviously, you know, is close to my heart. Just my heart, nothing else.
Yeah.
Despite what Ted said. And, well, hello!
Hi, Mr. President. I just wanted to come to say I'm really sorry that me and Mr. Frost came up with this concoction to try to ruin your presidency. And, well, I'm sorry that the U.S. tabloids nicknamed you Booth Daddy. And I guess I just...
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.
For coming clean for us.
Appreciate your candor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Daniel.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd have learned something from all this. But apparently not. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, yeah.
Also,
you're
shame on you, right?
Not gonna get shamed. Not gonna get shamed again. Something like that.
Well, you know what? I feel like big weight's been lifted off me today.
Really?
And I'm gonna lift some more weight off of me right now. That rave and the property that you've been having a hard time with. It's all a big brainwashing attempt.
What do you mean?
DJ Tanner.
I love that thing.
Listen, I was telling them about our dub swing stepping garbage music that we were gonna make. How it's gonna brainwash people to join the army. I'm talking like little kids too.
It was conscription into the military, if that helps.
Froth, what are you doing? Don't be such a saint!
Okay. Okay, now you're really starting to get to me, okay? If the allegations of pregnancy weren't enough, now you're trying to brainwash people and
But that was gonna help you!
to join the military.
Also, I've been embezzling money, and kicking puppies.
Froth, I think you have to tender your resignation immediately, and it pains me to say that, but I think it's best if we just part ways, and you, oh God, where's Barbie? You gotta,
Are you okay, son?
excuse me, yeah. No, I think you should tender your resignation. That's what I think would be most prudent at this juncture. These glasses are old.
Frank! I sensed that you needed me.
Barbie,
Plus, I was listening this whole time outside the door.
how's something going up?
Well, listen. Are you okay?
I'm all right. I think Mr. Froth here knows exactly what he needs to do for the good of the American people.
Do you want me to get a hanger, Frank?
No. No, Barbie, I don't think that'll be necessary. But keep one on standby. Just keep one on standby.
I happen to have my resignation right here. If you just sign it, I'll be out of your hair.
You have any last words, Froth?
Anything I do that did for country?
How Nathan Hale.
Ha!
What?
You just signed on to completely fund a space disco
What?
slash
Hey!
explore station.
No! You said it was something else, and I trusted you.
Oh, good times.
Put your hands in the air and wave them like you don't care. Listen, I heard what you said to my mother. I know that this whole thing is a clever ruse to try to get money out of them.
I'm sorry. I was at the debate. I was young. Dad looked so handsome, he had so much power, and I thought, sure, he's already admitted to 74 extramarital affairs, but I'll be different.
It's okay, everyone makes mistakes.
Kevin, you've been so nice through this whole thing.
Oh my God, your hair's gorgeous.
Thank you. It's just, you're probably the nicest person I ever met. I tried to ruin your life and your whole family, and you braid my hair, and we talk about shows on the CW. I really appreciate that.
I just feel like we have this connection, Even though you tried to lie and shame my family and, despite all that stuff, I'm pretty cool with you.
Thanks. There's one thing that's true about America. Gay guys love chicks.
We especially
We're born
love,
to be best friends.
we especially love fat chicks, too.
You guys give us a self-esteem we never had.
Hey, you the broken Fourth South Dakota who wants to do Molly and listen to bad techno. What do you say we get out of here and go to that rave?
Yeah, let's do it.
5, 6, 7, 8. It's kind of day
To
here.
right hand. Throw back a bottle of beer. To right hand. Get tired of your big fat rear. Drop it.
It's a lot, Kevin!
Oh my God, you ran so much for my time!
You're having a good time.
Well, I think Kanye really likes this.
All right, enough already! Kevin, hand me that gun.
I feel the sudden urge to march in place. Left,
Kevin,
left, right, left.
Kevin. Hey! I'm your father, and I am the President of the United States, Kevin! Kevin! What are you doing? Kevin! Kevin, no, you... Kevin! Listen to me! Listen to me! I'm your father, and you love dancing, and you love pillow fights, and braiding your friend's hair at sleepovers, and you love selling cookies! You don't love guns and war?
Oh my God! Oh my God, what's wrong with me?
Once the effect breaks on one, it breaks on all of them. It's a weird thing that way.
I feel free. I feel.
Quick! Barbie! Barbie, she's a midwife! Get my wife here!
My baby's about to be born, Daddy!
Daddy, it's not your baby! No! Barbie, it's not a baby! She's having a baby! Okay, this always happens at babies.
Wait, I've had babies before. I know what to do.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's so better.
It's beautiful.
That was the best motion I've ever seen.
Not only do you gestate quickly, you also give birth really, really quickly.
Thank you.
You know what, America, if this teaches us anything, it's that you can be whoever you want. And you can do whatever you believe in. And if you want, you can not only be president of this great country,